What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 286 of Cocktails in the War Room. Welcome to the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. The War Room, in case you are not familiar, you might be new. This might be your first time in the War Room. If it is, let me know in the comments and let me know where you're watching from so the War Room family can welcome you properly. But the War Room is a place in my house where all of the military memorabilia from my family's years of service is. It's where all of the stuff that I brought back from my trips to Iraq and Afghanistan is. And it is also where the bar is, which is exactly why we started hanging out here on March 14th of 2020 when the pandemic started, because we all needed a cocktail. And so after 80 nights in a row, we launched the Mistress Carrie podcast and mistresscarrie.com, and we decided to make Cocktails in the War Room a weekly show where we get together to have a drink, unwind. Ow, Wednesday. How fresh are you? I just spilled my drink on the floor. And to just talk about music and whatever else is going on. And, well, if you're confused as to who I'm yelling at, allow me to introduce you to the naughty co-host. No, back up. You are being very fresh. No, naughty. This is Wednesday. That, by the way, is where you can find her on Instagram. She's my co-host. She's been riding out the pandemic with us. We've had her birthday parties here, but she's very fresh. And she comes in the War Room because we bribe her with treats and cookies. And she sits very cute and attentively, but she is adamant about the treats. And then when they're gone, she leaves us. Like right now, she went, wait, hey, back up. No, back up. You're being very bad. Stay. No, stay. Stop. You're not being nice. Don't wiggle your little butt and think that it's cute and I'm going to give in again. You be a good girl. She just blew snots all over my finger. Come on. Bish is joining us. Penny's here. Alexis is here. Jonathan and Elsa. Will. Christine is here. Lisa and Kevin. If you're joining us on Instagram, I only see your Instagram handle as the name when you comment. So if you're commenting on Instagram, make sure you put your name in there so I can call you out properly. Let's see. I want to catch up on the comments. Where is Ozone, Hillman, Opie, and Anthony? I miss the old days. So I can tell you Ozone passed away. I believe a couple of years ago during the pandemic. Rocco also passed away. Hillman's working on WEEI. Opie is in New York doing his online show, and Anthony's running his own podcast network. So everybody's kind of doing their own thing. But yes, we miss the old days as well a lot of the time. So what's up, Rich? So that was Rich commenting on Instagram. Good evening. Hi, Tracy. Hello, War Room fam, says Alicia. Missed the ice cream on Sunday, said Brett. I know. I was really bummed out that the ice cream event didn't happen. Really hoping we're able to reschedule. I will let you guys know. Dom on Instagram as well. Fantastic. We're going to reschedule it. As soon as I get a rescheduled date, I will let you guys know. So Wednesday, you're being very fresh. Down. Don't get close to the cookie. No, back up. Be nice. Down. No, nicely. Good girl. Be nice. Keith says, hello, fuckers. Kathy says, Wednesday is being crazy today. Yeah, tell me about it. She has been the clingiest dog the last few days. Like, I've been working a lot for Westwood One, so I've been spending a lot of time in MCHQ, and she is not more than 5 feet away from me at any given time, night or day right now. She's everywhere with me. Hey, you're not being very nice and you're not listening good. Be a good girl. No, stay. She's so fresh right now. Jason wants to know how mom is. A lot of the same. She's okay. Nothing worse, but nothing better. But I appreciate you always asking about her. Yeah, she is a spicy pug, Tracy. You're absolutely right. Let's see. Just looked up Jelly Roll tickets for September. Good Lord. $1,000 for 2 tickets, says Keith. So that Jelly Roll show in September, the Beautifully Broken tour, when it went on sale, Jelly Roll was bigger than he was 6 months before that. Since that tour has gone on sale, he's 3 times as big as he was. Like, he could sell out another night at the TD Garden without question. They could have done multiple nights at every arena and it would have sold out immediately. So it doesn't surprise me. I did, as my husband, obviously, is a big fan and he's a longtime friend of the show, as you guys know. And so I did call the label and be like, look, it's impossible for me to get tickets to like try and buy them. Can I go to the show? Basically, that's what I have to do is call the management, call the label and say, is there a way that I can get put on the guest list? Is there a way for me to go? If the guest list is full, is there a way for me to buy tickets that you can get access to that I don't have access to through the general public or whatever? And as big as Jelly Roll is, as many times as he's changed his cell phone number and all of that stuff, the label was like, absolutely. Like, he wants us to take care of you. Absolutely. So for as big as he's getting, it might be harder to get him on the phone, definitely harder to get an interview and to get him on the show now because he's so busy doing so much that you've got to protect his voice too, as you guys have heard people like Miles Kennedy talk about on the show. But he is still finding a way to navigate this stratospheric rise that he is on and still maintain like loyalty to the people he cares about. It's pretty spectacular the way he's been able to navigate his whole career. Annie Jones joining us. Hello, Annie Joan. Christine says Jelly Roll, Mr. C's future boss. Don't even joke because my husband would be gone in a hot minute. If Jelly Roll called him and said, I want you to work for me, he would be gone. He would leave me in a heartbeat. He finally retires from the Marines after 28 years. Jelly Roll calls him. He would be gone. I know that for an absolute truth. Mr. Voorhees is here. Hello. Wednesday, you are being so fresh. You stay put. What? Are you being fresh? No. Back up. Back up. Get away from the cookie pocket. Back up. Is Annie Ange joining us tonight too? All the aunties in the war room tonight? So yeah, I know how expensive those Jelly Roll tickets are. Mr. C and I are going. I don't know where our tickets are. I'm hoping that we get to say hello to Mr. Roll himself. But we'll see what happens. But I can't wait to see him in a sold out arena. Like seeing him in a sold out Boston Garden, I can't wait for that. You guys know, how emotional I get when I see my friends take things to the next level in their careers. When I see the guys from Shinedown play these giant amphitheaters and get on stage at these big, festivals, and the same thing with Godsmack, like to see the way that these bands have grown and these artists have grown. I'm just super, super excited. So, don't even joke that my husband, could have a second career working security for these big artists. And the funniest thing is that he really doesn't even like rock music. So he's like the safest person to be protecting all of these rock stars because he doesn't even like the music half the time. Jelly Roll is one of the only artists that we both like. And AC/DC and Shinedown. And that's basically end of list right now. Let's see. Will you be at Silver Scream Con? Shane, I will be. Matter of fact, I'm going to have a booth set up. So yes, not only am I going to be there, there's going to be a big Mistress Carrie booth at Silver Scream Con for sure. So Keith says going to see Three Doors Down and Creed tomorrow. Finger 11 opening up that show as well. So don't be late. Make sure you get to watch those guys. Wednesday, the cookies are gone. Nope, they're all gone. Don't lick my fingers like there's cookie residue on there. It's all gone. Don't wiggle your butt anymore like I'm going to give you something else. I gave you all the cookies I had. Okay, can you just lay there and be a good girl now, please? Thank you. So yes, Shane, I am going to be at Silver Scream Con. Good evening, Mr. LeBlanc, joining us. Michael Cole says, Creed, Three Doors Down should be a good show, good weather. The show's completely sold out, by the way. Like this Creed reunion tour, the 25th anniversary of Human Clay, this whole Summer of 99 tour, just insane. By the way, a couple things I saw today that I wanted to tell you guys about. Go and watch the trailer for the movie Y2K, speaking of 25 years ago. One of the writers from Saturday Night Live wrote the script and is directing it. And who is producing it? I'll think of it in a minute. It's a comedian that's producing this movie as well. But basically, Y2K is a movie about a bunch of high school kids at a party on New Year's Eve, 1999. And what would have happened if all the computers went haywire? Jonah Hill, that's who's producing it. Jonah Hill is producing Y2K. And what would have happened if all the computers went haywire on New Year's Eve, 1999, at the start of the new millennium? The way that they were worried about the Y2K thing. The trailer is out and it looks really, really funny. So there's that. And then there's also a 2-part documentary that's coming out on HBO Max about David Chase and about the creation of The Sopranos and how much of The Sopranos was based on his own life. And they brought in all of the actors and the producers and the people from HBO and like media experts to talk about what a groundbreaking show The Sopranos was. It was really the first television show that wasn't on a major television network, meaning a broadcast network. So an uncensored, adult weekly drama was something that had never happened before, and they didn't know if it was going to work. And so there's a documentary coming out. It's a 2-part documentary. I think it comes out September 6th. I watched the trailer for it. It's all about David Chase and the creation of The Sopranos, and it looks really, really good. So if you have HBO Max, you got to check out the trailer for that. And I forget what it's called. It's like David Chase, The Sopranos something. You can Google it and find the trailer, but it looked really, really good. Say hello to my little friend also, what Keith says when he has pants, or his pants on or off, says Bish. We never know with Keith. We just don't. William says, good evening, Carrie. Cricket Man, just dropping in to say hello. And that was it. Oh, hi, William. Nice to see you. So you're being very good now. Nice job. You're just being very mellow. Nice job. So for anybody that's new, the pug cam gets turned on. Wednesday's cocktails are over here. So just so that you can see the cuteness. Most of the time, once the cookies are gone, she leaves. And then she only comes back if there's mail for her. Otherwise, she just leaves because she gets annoyed listening to us talk about like whatever is going on in the world. So I want to tell you guys about those 2 movies that looked really, really good. Deadpool and Wolverine, did you guys see that? Is now the highest grossing R-rated film in history. It beat out 2019's Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. And the new Joker, Folie à Deux, I think it's called, is coming out this fall. Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. That is supposed to be part musical, which is going to be really interesting. So there was that. And also Coldplay just broke the record for the highest grossing rock tour of all time. It's like $945 million, 8.8 million tickets sold. It beat out Elton John's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour, and there's still 21 dates of the Coldplay tour. They're expecting it to be the first rock tour in history that breaks $1 billion, which is crazy. So I have not seen the new Deadpool yet, but everybody told me it's everything I would want it to be and more. So I would love it. Eric says that movie looks nuts. The Y2K one? Yeah, it totally looks crazy. And then I watched the trailer today for Channing Tatum's new movie, Blink Twice, that Zoe Kravitz wrote. That movie looks really weird too. What I love all of a sudden And I talked to Spencer Charnas about it on last week's podcast episode because he's such a horror fanatic. Same thing as Slash. And now horror movies and these kind of, like Get Out, those like suspense kind of horror movies, like they're not like this subgenre anymore, that like horror movies have now completely crossed over into the mainstream. M. Night Shyamalan just had that new movie come out with Josh Hartnett. Like, I haven't seen that one yet, but I love his movies because they're so kind of crazy and out there. But Kevin Bacon is in a lot of kind of movies like that where he's like, look, horror is not the genre that you go to after you fail at everything else anymore. Like, people are seeking out being in these horror movies because people love to go to the box office to watch them. Like, they love to be scared. It's a psychological thing. That why do people like to go on roller coasters? Why do I like to jump out of airplanes? It's just the human condition, I guess. Let's see. Tom says, you all chatting horror movies, as he says, with Jaws as his profile picture on his Facebook page. Stacy, yes, Coldplay is considered a rock show. Yeah. And so is Elton John. So I guess, Coldplay gets played on alternative rock radio stations. They consider it a rock show, I guess. Now, I have heard, to give Coldplay credit, that their live shows are amazing. I saw this amazing video online that Coldplay is the first artist that if you are deaf, when you go to buy your tickets, if you need accessible tickets, hey, shush. If you need ADA tickets, American with Disabilities Act, if you need tickets through the ADA, but you're specifically deaf, Coldplay has these vests that they let you wear during the show that sync up to the PA system so that deaf people can physically experience the music. I'd never seen it before. You guys are going to have to Google this. I'd never seen it before, but I thought it was so moving and amazing. And they showed all of this footage of these people in the crowd. And the vest, I don't know if it inflates. I don't know if it's got sensors in it. I don't know how it works. But it allows deaf people to experience the concert. They obviously can see the production, but it allows them to feel the music in a way that people with sight or the people with hearing can't. And I thought, how cool is that how many people are using these vests right now? Obviously, when you find out that it's a thing and you're someone that can't hear, like, you would want to seek that out. But is it a dozen people a show? Is it 24 people a show? Is it 50 people in an arena? Is it 100 people in a stadium? But I thought that was so cool. And then one of the other things I saw, I follow this guy on TikTok who is blind. You guys may have seen his videos. He's got really long hair and he makes videos. He's a dad to a young child and he makes videos about what it's like to be blind. And he went to Paris for the Olympics and he was going there to obviously talk about the Paralympics and whatever, but also to show how accessible Paris is for people without sight. And one of the things that they have in Paris that he's like, why don't they have this in America? And I never even thought of it, and shame on me for not, is that the prescription bottles for medications in France have Braille in the cardboard box. And I was like, how cool is that? And he, because he bought like over-the-counter like medications when he was in Paris. So he was showing like ibuprofen and like whatever in this video. And every kind of over-the-counter medication, so he could go to the drugstore and feel the shelves. But also when he gets home, he can tell like, oh, this is the Advil. Oh, this is the Tylenol. And he can differentiate based on the box, never mind opening the bottles and like feeling the pills or whatever. And I was like, how is that not a thing? Like, how much more effort would it be at the plant when they're putting the cardboard box together to put the Advil bottle in it for them to punch dimples in it for Braille? Like, how is that not a thing already? Like, why are packages for things just not printed with Braille? They're already printing, like on food boxes, they're already printing like the expiration dates and stuff. Like, can't they do that at the same time? And that's one of the things I love about social media and all of these videos and stuff is that I never thought of it because it doesn't affect me, and shame on me that it doesn't affect me. So I don't even think of it. But I thought it was so cool that the guys from Coldplay were like, you know what? We want all of our fans to be able to experience the music. And so you can be deaf and go to see Coldplay and experience the music in a different way than someone that can hear. But how cool is that? And I'm really curious. I haven't seen someone make a video about what the vest actually does. I'm sure we could do a deep dive on Google and figure it out. But the videos that I saw were just videos of people in the crowd. And they were videoing people wearing the Coldplay vests in the crowd watching the show. And the expression of the people wearing the vests at the concert, like the people that were posting these videos were basically like, look at these people. They can't even hear the music, but look at their reactions because they're included. And I thought that was... Like when Coldplay broke the record for the tour, I remembered seeing those videos and went back and watched them again. And I was like, good on Coldplay for doing something cool like that. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, obviously all of us can feel, right, the bass drum, and you can feel the explosions, and you can feel the concussion of the loud concert. But obviously those vests must make it so much better. Like, I don't know if it reacts to high-end frequencies and low-end frequencies. Like, I don't know what it does, but I would really love to see some videos on the development of that technology, because live music is something that all of us here in the War Room, we all have in common. It's something that we all love, and to find a way to make it more accessible for everyone, I think is great. When I was at Metallica, which, by the way, I got another Metallica shirt on tonight. This one's got Gillette Stadium on it, and it's got the dates of the show on the back. When I was at Gillette watching Metallica, I was over by the ADA section, and it was a big ramped off platform. And the whole section had its own security guards, and it had its own porta potties on the floor of Gillette Stadium that were wheelchair accessible. And so Gillette Stadium, I don't know if this came from the stadium. I don't know if this is what they do at every show with a general admission floor. I don't know if this is an edict from Metallica, but it's really nice to see more and more people taking those issues into account and really going out of their way to make sure that all of the fans are represented and having a good time. And I just thought it was cool. Eric says, Carrie's gone philosophical. No, you know what it is? It's just, I love concerts so much. Growing up, I spent a lot of time on crutches because of all of my surgeries and stuff. And the school that I went to, I was in junior high when I had the operations, was a 4-story building with no elevator. And I was on crutches for 3 months, I think. And so I used to have to leave class like 10 minutes early. I had to have 2 friends go with me, and my friends were like, please let me be there with you. And one would take my book bag, and the other would walk with me because I was on crutches, and I would get to the stairs, and I would turn around, and I would sit on the stairs, and my legs would go out, and my friend would hold my crutches, and I would boost myself up each step onto my butt so that I could climb the flights of stairs before everybody got out of their classes, and I could get to my next class on crutches. And it's an old building. It's not a school anymore. Obviously schools are built, with accommodations now. That school wasn't, because this was 1985. But I only had to deal with that temporarily. I can't imagine that being the every minute of every day struggle of dealing with accessibility. And so when it comes to music specifically, I just think that the artists that are going above and beyond to really take care of their fans that way and to push technology forward, I just think that that's really cool. I saw those videos about Coldplay and I was like, that's really fucking cool. Lou says you can be deaf and go to GNR, Pearl Jam, Paul McCartney at Fenway. They've been doing that for a while. They have the vests at Fenway. That's really cool. Mr. Cole says, was Adam Webster on the floor at Gillette? Thought that we saw him from section 114. I don't know if he was. There's a good chance that he was. It wouldn't surprise me. Now I need all of this stuff, says Lou. Live Nation has been tremendous for me. See, that's really cool to hear. You know, there's a bunch of other states joined a class action lawsuit against Live Nation recently about being a monopoly. It's like 39 states out of 50 states so far have joined this lawsuit. So it's good to hear that there are people that are having good experiences that need special accommodations. Lou says, no, the vests I haven't seen yet. I'm telling you guys, you got to look it up. I hope you don't have to Google too deep to find them, but I really do want to look into that technology a little more because I think it's really cool. All right, we got a lot to talk about. So let's, all right. So the first thing I want to remind you guys about is this Mistress Carrie deal. You guys may have seen this on ABC News, which I thought was really cool. In the middle of this picture is the little old man in the gray jumpsuit. His name is George. He's a veteran. And for his 92nd birthday, he made his second skydive. He went last year to make his 91st birthday skydive, and he loved it so much he went back, and he brought his entire family to go jumping with him. His grandkids, his kids, great nieces, great nephews. And they did this jump at Jumptown in Orange. And it was on ABC News. And I posted it up on my Facebook page so that you can watch the video if you want to watch it. But George is 92 and just jumped out of a plane. I'm not saying that to shame you into having a fear of jumping out of a plane. But I'm just saying that you could jump out of a plane at a discount if you took advantage of the Mistress Carrie deal, because you can get $40 off a tandem skydive if you go to jumptown.com, book your tandem skydive, and book it with the code Mistress Carrie, and they'll take $40 off. Hey, Carrie, tuning in from Sydney. I miss New England so much. Michael, what are you doing in Sydney on Instagram? And if you miss New England, why are you not back from Sydney? And third question, Michael in Sydney, have you held a koala bear? Because I need to hold a koala bear. It is a bucket list thing for me. I have wanted to hold and pet a koala bear since I was a very little kid. Michael, I need answers. I'm assuming you're talking about Sydney, Australia, that you're watching us from on Instagram right now. Yes, I thought it was really cool that George made a skydive on his 92nd birthday. So take advantage of this Mistress Carrie deal. The summer is going fast. Fall jumps are great. Foliage jumps are beautiful, but usually the jump season ends at the end of October. So if you want to take advantage of this, book your tandem skydive now. All right. Events. First of all, this got postponed over the weekend. So I'm so sorry that we were not able to debut the Mistress Carrie Black and Blue ice cream. We do not have a postponed date yet for a la mode in Thompson, Connecticut. But as soon as I get with the Ice Cream Alchemist and as soon as we figure out when it can be rescheduled, I will definitely let you know. Want to remind you guys about some of the places you can listen to me on the radio. Charleston's Best Rock, 98 Rock, every weekday from 10 to 3. You can go to my98rock.com. You can download the 98 Rock app. You can listen from anywhere. You can also listen to me every weekday afternoon on 100 FM The Pike. I'm on from 3 to 7 every weekday. You can go to pikefm.com. You can download the Pike app. Couple places. Rockfest at Indian Ranch coming up on August 31st. Tickets are on sale now. I will be there for that. And if you missed the announcement last week, the big birthday bash is happening. The Mistress Carrie Birthday Bash happening at Rascals in Worcester on Saturday night, September 28th, just a couple nights before my actual birthday. And my friends in Rotten Apple, the premier Alice in Chains tribute band, are going to be headlining the show. Justin Jordan's going to be opening up the show. These tickets are on sale now. It is going to be 21 plus. It's up on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com with the link to get the tickets. If you're an Alice in Chains fan, these guys are amazing. They're friends of mine. I've seen them live. They are so, so good. And we wanted to do something where we could get together and get together on a Saturday night, have it be easy to get to. It's in Worcester. We're going to do something special for the Backstage Pass holders that night. We'll talk about the Backstage Passes coming up. But it's just a reason for us all to get together. It's going to be great music. The Pike is throwing the party for me. So I'm assuming Shu and Chuck Perks and all those guys are going to be there. So I am really, really excited about having a birthday party and having everybody there. So how do you get tickets? Carol wants to know. Go to the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Look up September 28th. You'll see the thing for my birthday bash. And down at the bottom of the page, there's a link to buy tickets. And they're right there. Don't forget they're 21 plus. Denise says, already got my tickets. Cannot wait to celebrate. Yeah, it's going to be a really good time. Michael says, yes, Sydney, Australia. We have koalas, but we can't hold them in Sydney. But in Queensland, you can. I'm in Sydney because I followed a Kiwi girl and got married. Oh, my cousin actually married a guy from New Zealand, but he's here. But it is a bucket list thing for me to go to Australia. I want to climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And the guys in Theory of a Dead Man told me when they went to Australia on tour that there's actually a koala rescue. I don't know where it is, but there's a koala rescue that you can go to. And they have koalas that they've rescued that can't be re-released into the wild. And you can go there and visit the koala rescue and learn all about the koalas and conservation. And you can hold the koalas. This is not code. When I say I want to hold a koala, it's not code for something else. I mean, I just want to hold a koala and I want to take my picture holding a koala. Like that is on my bucket list that I must do. I've always wanted to go to Australia. I know literally everything can kill me there. Spiders and snakes and whatever else. But I will go there someday. I can't wait to go there. Bish says, won't be able to attend the birthday bash, sending love and B-Day wishes. Thank you very much. I'm not old enough, says Carol. Carol, are you fibbing? I think you might be fibbing. Let's see. It supports the veterans. Please check it out. Oh, Murph is posting links and stuff. Murph, I'll also make sure that you know about the Facebook group for veterans that I have on Facebook too. Literally held on and it shit on me, says Eric. I would let a koala poop on me. I would be okay with that as long as I could hold the koala. I would like to hold a sloth too, but koala's number one for sure. Keith says, I think it's in Perth on the western side of the country. Wherever it is, I'm going there. I need to see this koala rescue and I want to hold a little koala for sure. Jessica's talking about El Nino's European tour. Tommy Vext is going to be the new singer of El Nino. Only on the European tour. They haven't said why the singer of El Nino isn't going to be able to do it, but Tommy Vext, the former Bad Wolves singer, is going to be the new singer of El Nino in Europe. So get your birthday bash tickets. It's going to be a blast. Rotten Apple is fantastic. It's going to be a great night of music. There's going to be some surprises too. So birthday bash, September 28th at Rascals. It's a Saturday night, 21 plus. Get the details on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Also, 106.3 The Bone. You can hear me every weekday afternoon in Portland, Maine. Go to 106.3thebone.com. Download the Bone app. Our Deck the Halls with Daughtry holiday show is happening Wednesday night, December 11th at the State Theater in Portland with Sleep Theory and Devour the Day. Yes, I'm going to be there hosting that night. And yes, these tickets are on sale already. You can get the details at 1063thebone.com. So it's getting very busy. Can't believe we're already talking about holiday shows. There's a lot going on. All right, cocktail Oh, it's not National Prosecco Day. I meant to change this. Hold on, because we have to toast tonight. We have something to toast to. Hold on. Wednesday. There we go. Today is National Radio Day. So, first of all, cheers to everybody I've ever worked with at every radio station I've ever worked at, to anybody that's ever listened to one of my radio shows. Happy National Radio Day to you guys. And a drink for the typo. Yes, I get it. Okay. Trying to find. All right, here we go. This drink is called a Mad Rosca. Have you even heard of this thing? It has vodka in it, so I was like, all right, I'm already interested. You guys know how much I love vodka. But I thought it was interesting. It is called a Mad Rosca. It's 2 ounces of vodka, 3 ounces of apple juice. Yes, that's Wednesday sitting behind me. 2 ounces of cranberry juice and an ounce of fresh orange juice. So the juice is apple, cranberry, orange. Pour the ingredients into an ice-filled highball, stir, and serve. How is that? I guess it's replacing rum with vodka because it's kind of a Mai Tai, but it's vodka. Look at her sitting back there. What are you doing? Are you just going to take a nap? You can do that. Go ahead, take a nap. It's okay. It's all right. See, she left for a while, but then she came back because she can't be more than 5 feet away from me. For some reason this week, she won't leave me alone. What's up, Tim? Love you. Love the old AF. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's a Mad Rosca. Obviously, if we're garnishing with apple slices, maybe dipped in cinnamon and brown sugar or something. Cranberries, obviously, and then an orange wedge or something. But I thought it sounded really good. I have no idea what Mad Rosca is, but the drink sounds really good. So yeah, shoulder pug for sure. I do want to talk about Jack Russell, actually. Jessica pointing it out. Jack Russell, the former lead singer of Great White, passed away. Now, in July, he posted that he was retiring from touring, that he had Lewy body dementia and multiple system atrophy, I believe, or multiple system dystrophy. You guys are going to have to correct me on that. And that he was retiring from touring because he wasn't able to give the performances that he thought the fans deserved and that he wanted to give. And he also said in the post that Lewy body dementia, which by the way is what Bruce Willis has, that once you get the diagnosis, it's fatal within like 4 years. And then last week, Jack Russell passed away at the age of 63. His family announced it. There have been statements from Great White, even though he wasn't in Great White anymore. They did say that they're asking for privacy, but that a public memorial is going to be scheduled. And I didn't comment a lot on it because after the station nightclub fire, when I was on the air at AAF, I was really, really angry about the fire and really mad at the band. And for a long time refused to play Great White songs because it made me so furious. I had spoken to so many people that were at the fire. Obviously, you know, hearing audio of the scanners and the first responders, hearing from first responders what it was like to be there that night. Rolling Stone did a really powerful story. I don't remember how far after the fire it was, but it was a really long, in-depth story about what happened, how it happened, and the experience of people that survived in their own words. And that article changed me. There was one person specifically who survived the fire because they were trampled on and everyone on top of them died and burned and became a human cocoon that person was in for hours of charred, dead bodies, and that's how they survived that fire. And reading that article in Rolling Stone, I'm sure you guys can Google it and find it. I've seen documentaries about the fire. It's such a touchy subject for me. The radio DJ that was there from HJY in Providence died at the fire. And so it made anybody that does what we do think like, wow, that could have been any one of us at any venue, at any show, on any day. And I was really mad for a long time. And I know that Jack Russell has spoken about it. I know, that blame has been passed around. The tour manager went to jail. The club owners went to jail. But it's still such a touchy thing, especially for people in New England, because most likely you know somebody, or you know somebody that knows somebody that was there or that died there, that I didn't really want to make a lot of public statements about Jack Russell's passing, because unfortunately that is part of his story, and that is part of the legacy of his musical career and the musical career of the band as well. And it brings up a lot of emotions. Terrible that he got diagnosed with those things. Really nice that he had the time to be able to tell his fans what was going on, to spend time with his family. I'm assuming make arrangements and let his wishes be known and all of those things. But obviously when all of the news broke about Jack Russell, the first thing that got brought up in every article was that he also survived that fire, and the band, and how it affected the career of the band and all of that kind of stuff. Christine says, Dr. Metal, rest in peace. Jonathan says, one of my teachers passed in that fire. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, so it's a very emotionally triggering thing, especially for people in New England. Because there are so many people that are affected. And not only did over 100 people die, but then 200 more got severely burned. And then the court cases and the lawsuits. And so just nobody won in that whole situation. So, but yes, we do need to talk about it, because obviously, Great White did have a storied career, and there are a lot of people that were influenced by their music, a lot of people that love their music to this day. And then obviously there's a lot of people that still hold a lot of resentment to the band and Jack Russell specifically for what happened. And you can't tell any of those people that they're wrong. It's just, it's really difficult. Carol said, a lady that I worked with, her son died there. That's what I mean. Like, it's not that hard for you to be connected to that day somehow. Just really tough. All right, let's talk about last week's episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast, episode 219. This Spencer Charnas interview, I felt so bad because it got recorded right before the Metallica show that they were supposed to play. And he was so excited to be able to play on stage at Gillette, and his whole family was there. We joked about the guest list. We joked about, me. He told me the last time I had him on the show when they announced the Metallica tour, he was like, I'll hook you up with tickets. And I was like, dude, I know how hard it is to get all of those tickets you need for all of your family. I was not going to ask for you to hook me up, which he appreciated, but he's like, I would have. But I was so heartbroken when I was at Gillette on the Sunday night show that got held up because of lightning and high winds and torrential downpours, because Ice Nine Kills didn't get to perform. And we talked so much about how excited he is. And look, they've been opening up for Metallica every week, all around the world, which he talked about, all around North America. It's been an amazing thing. And the one show on the tour that meant more than anything was the hometown show at Gillette. And that's the one that they got bumped off of, which was really sad. But a part of the reason that we also had him on the show when we did is that Silver Scream Con is already announced. And the day after the Metallica show, they announced the September 14th show within this moment at the Palladium Outdoors with Avatar and TX2. So Ice Nine Kills is playing the Palladium Outdoors the Saturday night of Silver Scream Con. It's going to be an insane show. It's going to be awesome. You can buy passes for the weekend and it comes with tickets to the Ice Nine Kills show, or you can just buy tickets to the concert, or you can just buy tickets to the con. But there is going to be a Mistress Carrie booth at Silver Scream Con, and Silver Scream Con tickets are already on sale, as are the tickets for the Saturday night show at the Palladium Outdoors. But I love having Spencer on. He's so passionate about horror movies. He's so passionate about the books, about the imagery, about the memorabilia, the new song that they did that is all tied to the soundtrack of the graphic novels. Like, he's so involved with all of this stuff. And one of the things I love is when I get to talk to somebody about something that they're really passionate about, because they get so excited and they're like, oh, wait, I want to tell you this. And, oh, wait, I want to tell you that. And I think anybody has had the experience when you're in a conversation with someone and they're talking about something that they're really excited about. You guys see me do it all the time. When I'm really excited to tell you guys a secret or an announcement about something, that excitement is contagious. And he is so excited about the growth of Silver Scream Con and where Ice Nine Kills is going, and playing this massive outdoor show at the Palladium, which was like one of Ice Nine Kills' first like big shows in a theater. And so I was so happy to have him back. At one point I told him I felt like a proud auntie, and he was like, I'll call you my auntie anytime, which was kind of hilarious. We talked a lot about the North Shore. Obviously, we talked about the roast beef stuff. So if you missed it, last week's episode 219 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, it features Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills. The new episodes come out every Wednesday, and so at midnight, episode 220 goes live, and this episode was specifically timed to go live tomorrow because these guys are opening up for Creed and Three Doors Down tomorrow night at the Xfinity Center on the Summer of '99 tour. Finger Eleven's back. They just signed a new record deal. They just released a new song called Adrenaline. They have got a new album on the way. Scott Anderson, the lead singer, he and I talked all about working on this new record. We talked all about this resurgence of the band, the highs and lows that this band has gone through, stratospheric highs when their ballads crossed over to like top 40 radio and all of that. And then the lows when you release music and it's not as successful, and everything in between. These guys met in junior high school. The guys in Three Doors Down met in high school. And that's also something that we talk about in this week's episode as well. So Finger 11 has not been on the show before. A lot of times we get artists that have been on multiple times now because we're 220 episodes in and we have not missed a week since the Mistress Carrie podcast began. A new episode has been out every week since July of 2020. So we're at 220 episodes plus all the bonus episodes. But the Wednesday numbered episodes, we're at 220. But yeah, it's still possible to get artists on the show for the first time as well. But Scott Anderson's awesome. He's also a pug lover. And so having him on the show, just talking about this exciting new chapter in the band's life and all of the different things that they're working on and what is driving them at this point in their career. That's all the stuff that we're talking about on this week's episode. So episode 220 of the podcast goes live at midnight with Scott Anderson from Finger 11. Michael Cole said, I also feel bad for the fans and that Five Finger Death Punch had a short set at the Metallica show with Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, I mean, and look, you can't blame Metallica, right? Most people bought those tickets because they wanted to see a full Metallica set, and Metallica wanted to make sure that you saw a full Metallica set. Matter of fact, they stayed late that night, but it just wasn't possible to get Ice Nine Kills up there, which is just super bummer. So Shane says, I remember seeing Ice Nine Kills at a function hall in Beverly back around 2008. Shane, Spencer talked about some of those shows at like American Legions and VFWs and stuff on the North Shore in the early days of the band. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode yet, definitely go and check that. But yeah, it's been a lot of episodes, and I was super excited that Scott Anderson wanted to come on. You know, this lineup, when you look at the hits of that tour between Finger 11, Three Doors Down, and Creed, no wonder the show is completely sold out for tomorrow night. So it's just crazy. As a reminder, if you subscribe to the podcast, you not only get the weekly episodes and all the bonus episodes, but every weekday you get the Sit Rep, which is rock news, tour info, tour announcements, music headlines, entertainment updates, stuff about movies, documentaries, streaming shows. It's right around 5 minutes long, and it's Monday through Friday, and you can listen to it really early in the morning while you're getting ready for work, get caught up with all the headlines, and go about your day. Podcast outlets. You're looking for the podcast? It's literally everywhere. So all you have to do is go on whatever app you listen to podcasts on, search the Mistress Carrie podcast, and you're going to find it. You can also listen to the audio episodes on YouTube, and also you can just go to mistresscarrie.com and hit play on whatever episode you want to listen to. Every episode of Cocktails in the War Room is up on YouTube. Every sit rep, everything is up on YouTube as well. And we're holding strong at 149 countries on the podcast. So there you go. Let me see. Jason wants to know, did Metallica have to pay a fine for playing late? I know that there is a fine if you go past, I believe it's 11 o'clock. I don't know if they waived it because of weather or if they just paid it and knew they were going to have to pay it and didn't care. I don't know. I am assuming it is union overages and overtime for employees at the stadium. Obviously, if the concert runs late, that means law enforcement, all the first responders have to be late. So my assumption is that fine, that Metallica was fine paying it because they have to pay all of the people to stay late to make sure everybody's safe. So I can't imagine Metallica having a problem paying that fine. So. All right, if you're celebrating your birthday today, your birthday is amazing. If today, August 20th, is your birthday, look at this. Demi Lovato, who's on Slash's new album, by the way. Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, and Isaac Hayes, all born today. So if today's your birthday, cheers to you because your birthday is badass. Happy birthday. Happy unbirthday, Keith. Michael Cole says, I thought it was 11:15 in Foxborough. I thought it was 11, but I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. Bish says, Carrie, I'm turning 39 on Friday. Woo, Bish. You got one more year in your 30s. You better soak in those 30s, dude. The big 4-0 is coming up. Big. All right, we got a last minute ticket giveaway in the War Room tonight. So if you would like to get your hands on some tickets to go see Cage the Elephant at the Xfinity Center coming up this Thursday night, I have got some tickets to give away. Last week we gave away Slipknot tickets here in the War Room, and more people wanted tickets than I had tickets. So if you want these Cage the Elephant tickets, act immediately. I do have some tickets. This is not just one pair, but they run out really fast when I do these ticket giveaways in the War Room. So if you want to go see Cage the Elephant with Young the Giant, here's the lineup right here. Thursday night at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield. Go to mistresscarrie.com, click the message the studio button in the top right-hand corner, put Cage in the subject, make sure that I have your full name and your email address, and I will send tickets. First come, first serve. As many people as I have tickets for, I will send them out. But this show is Thursday night. So if you want to go and see Cage the Elephant Thursday night at the Xfinity Center, you got to let me know right away. Go to mistresscarrie.com, click the message the studio button, put Cage in the subject line for Cage the Elephant, and make sure I've got your full name and your email address. Jason, I don't know if I'm going to be there yet. I'm pulling double duty for Westwood One this week, so I don't know. Everything is hurting at 39, says Bish. It only gets worse. Buy stock in Advil. Just warning you. It only gets worse, dude. But happy early birthday for you since you're turning 39 on Friday. All right, let's buzz through some music headlines and just remind you about a bunch of shows that are coming through. We're supposed to be getting a big Linkin Park announcement very, very soon. Mike Shinoda's hinting at it. Linkin Park's hinting at it. Live Nation's hinting at it. Danny Wimmer Presents is hinting at it. The rumors The consensus online seems to be that Linkin Park is going to be headlining some major North American festivals next year to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Hybrid Theory. No word yet on who's going to sing for Chester. No word yet on if it's every member of Linkin Park but Chester that's coming back. We don't know yet. We also found out that Blink-182 are releasing One More Time Part 2. They're re-releasing their new reunion album with Tom DeLonge. It's coming out September 6th. And it's going to have 8 songs that didn't make the original album. And a new Blink-182 song is coming out this Friday. So there's a lot going on with music. There's a lot of new music coming out, a lot of tours. All of these shows are going to be at the Garden. Obviously, we spent a lot of time talking about Jelly Roll, which is just a couple days before my birthday, by the way. But all of these shows at the Garden on this side are all still happening. These are the shows that if you have not heard yet, and we've been trying to get the word out, these shows are obviously canceled. The Black Crowes just announced a bunch more Happiness Bastards tour dates. The only New England date right now is at the Mohegan Sun Arena, coming up in, I believe, February of next year. So Jason says, wait till you turn 40, he says. Voorhees says, I was 39 a long time ago. Tim says, thank you for my tickets to Slipknot. You are the best. Tim, I'm glad you went and had a fantastic time. Jessica said, did Linkin Park get a new lead singer? No, but the rumors are that they may be bringing someone in so that the rest of the band can celebrate this anniversary. No word yet on if it's going to be a famous vocalist, like when Axl filled in for Brian Johnson in AC/DC. If it's going to be multiple guest vocalists, like maybe bringing up a rotating group of singers that are going to take over singing different Linkin Park songs. And nobody knows if it's going to be a tour like they're doing for Pantera. There's just a lot of people talking about Linkin Park, and we all know that their anniversary is coming up next year. Same anniversary that Papa Roach has got for their debut album. They turn 25 next year too. Talking about the DCU Center, we already talked about Silver Scream Con. Friday the 13th, that's not a surprise or a coincidence, through September 15th at the DCU Center in the Convention Center. And also coming up in November, Iron Maiden is going to be at the DCU Center. Obviously, that's in the arena. But Silver Scream Con is going to be in the convention space. All of these shows are coming up at Big Night Live. However, if you did not see this news, Coal Chamber has postponed their tour until next year. You guys heard when Des Fafara came on the podcast and talked about his bout with COVID and that he had cardiac damage and that it almost killed him. And that he's been working with a cardiologist and that he's been touring. And over the weekend, Des Fafara had a health scare and he had to be revived by his wife and he is on bed rest. He was rushed to the hospital. And so this entire Coal Chamber tour has already been postponed. I just did not put the new date. They have already announced the rescheduled date. It's been updated on the website already. Coal Chamber's tour has been postponed to March 30th of 2025 at Big Night Live. Dirty Honey's going to be there on my birthday. Then we got Asking Alexandria, Palais Royale, and The Marvelous 3 and Lit coming up in November. And I am working on getting tickets to a lot of these shows at Big Night Live because there's so many rock shows that are happening there now. Xfinity Center tomorrow night, Creed with Three Doors Down and Finger 11, and then Cage the Elephant the night after that. And then coming up September 5th, live in STP, my guests on the bonus episode of the podcast last week, Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, and then Korn at the end of September. All of those shows are on sale. To my knowledge, only the Creed show is sold out, but I could be wrong. Here's some other shows that are coming around. Godsmack's going to be down at Mohegan before Christmas. Before Halloween. Seven Dust is going to be up at Hampton Beach. The Adrian Belew, Steve Vai, Danny Carey band not only is going to be at the Schubert, but there's a bunch of New England shows. Accept has got a bunch of shows in New England. Duran Duran's going to be at Mohegan and the SNHU Arena. Voorhees says, time for this old fogey to go to bed. It's 9:30. Good night, Mr. Voorhees. Mr. Cole says, don't forget the Marine Corps birthday on November 10th. Do you think it's possible for me to forget the Marine Corps birthday? Do you really think that's possible? It's not possible. Trust me. Let's see. Bish says your pay is going to get docked. I almost messed up my back stretching, says Donna. Zombie Alice, will you have tickets? Possibly. Keith, I might have tickets. I will let you know for sure. Backstage pass holders, they get first dibs. So you got to make sure you got a backstage pass first. But it is possible that I am going to have tickets. But War Room tickets, Cage the Elephant tonight. Leader Bank Pavilion coming up this weekend. Bush on the Loaded Greatest Hits Tour. It's only Jerry Cantrell and Candlebox. Tim Montana is not on this leg of the tour because he's going to be in town in September with Seether and Skillet. Falling in Reverse, trolling level 10 for Ronnie Radke. He is taking all of the hate videos and the hate comments that people make about him on like TikTok and making it part of the video during the Falling in Reverse show. The tour kicked off over the weekend. Epic. Dance Gavin Dance, Black Veil Brides, and Tech Nine are all on the lineup. They're going to be at Leader Bank on September 9th. Jane's Addiction, they just released an unexpected song that was only released, I think, at Lollapalooza on vinyl, and that one just hit streaming platforms today as well. But they're going to be at Leader Bank on September 13th. The Pearl Jam shows at Fenway are the only rock shows that are left to go at Fenway this year. The Palladium set it off New Year's Day from Ashes to New, October 27th. NoFX's finale tour is going to be August 31st and September 1st at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. The New England Metal and Hardcore Festival, September 21st and 22nd. And obviously, we've been talking all about Ice Nine Kills and In This Moment, September 14th at the Palladium Outdoors. All of these shows are already on sale. Donna says, I was a little late too. I was taking a nap. Carrie forgets the Marine birthday. Mr. C will court-martial her. Bish, that's not even the half of it. Trust me. I'm not forgetting the Marine Corps birthday. Roadrunner has got Newfound Glory, Kaleo, The Hives, Skillet and Seether. This is the one that Tim Montana and Royal Lynn are playing. Those tickets are already on sale. The Red Clay Strays, Dayseeker, and Rise Against. If you guys haven't been to a show at Roadrunner, it's a great venue to see a show. It opened right around the same time as the MGM Music Hall at Fenway. It's owned by Bowery, not Live Nation, so two completely different companies. It's smaller than the MGM, but it's a really, really nice venue. MGM Music Hall has got Taking Back Sunday, Widespread Panic, Kings of Leon, Sisters of Mercy, Queens of the Stone Age, and Sting. House of Blues has got Bad Flower, who were on the podcast a couple weeks ago, Rival Sons and Clutch, Airborne Toxic Event, Blues Traveler, Hate Breed, Testament, Theory of a Dead Man, Unplugged, by the way, and Steel Panther. All of those shows are announced and on sale at the House of Blues on Lansdowne Street. The Paradise, Lemonheads, Duff McKagan, and Guar are coming before the holidays this year. Also, City Winery has got John 5, 2 shows coming up September 1st. And also Richie Kotzen is going to be there on October 15th. The Stage at Suffolk Downs, I do not have any new shows announced for that, but a brand new refurbished stage and venue. If you are looking for new releases this week, if you're into Genesis, this is a big Friday for you. They are vinyl reissuing so many of their albums this Friday. Also, 311 celebrating the 30th anniversary of Grassroots this Friday. Mark Lanigan's 20th anniversary bubblegum release is coming out posthumously with bonus stuff from his family. And Mike Tramp of White Lion, Songs of White Lion Volume 2. Those are all coming out this Friday. Mail call this week. Is that why you're waiting out here? No mail Wednesday. There's no mail this week. So you've been hanging out here for nothing. You're just stuck with me back there. Don't forget, mistresscarrie.com. Tank tops are almost gone. They are still available, but limited in sizes and colors. So if you want to grab your tank tops before the end of the summer, now is the time to do it because they are running out and they're not going to be restocked until spring. I'm not going to restock them in the cold weather during the holidays. So if you're in Sydney, Australia, or wherever you're at and you want tank tops, better get them now before they're gone. Let's see. William Dyson says, MC, I wanted to let you know that I heard you on a rock station called Q96.3 that rocks down here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Yes, I know I'm on that station. I'm always talking about White Sands National Park down there. Yeah, it's Carlsbad's rock station. And that is one of the stations that I'm on because of Westwood One. So I'm super psyched that you heard me in New Mexico. That's totally badass. And it is a great station. You're totally right. Okay, Backstage Pass holders, we'll schedule our live stream for the end of the month. I'll let you guys know when that's going to be, probably by the end of this week. You also find out who's going to be on the podcast before anybody else. When I travel, you guys know first. You get early access to event tickets, also exclusive concert tickets. Right now, Backstage Pass holders have availability for tickets to Cage the Elephant, Falling in Reverse, and Megadeth. So if you're a Backstage Pass holder and you want to go to these shows, send me a private message. You know how to do it. And you also get discount codes for merch. So if you don't have a Backstage Pass yet, go to patreon.com/mistresscarrie or just click the Patreon button at mistresscarrie.com. And just a reminder about all the places that you can find me. All the stations and apps you can download to hear me every day. And then all of the places that you can find me online as well. The Threads accounts for the podcast are there. And obviously everything is linked at mistresscarrie.com. And one final reminder about anything veteran related. The veterans group continues to grow every week. Thank you guys so much for continuing to fill this thread with events and resources and nonprofits and organizations and your questions and your support for our veterans community. If you have not yet joined the Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock group on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, just search Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock. Make sure you like the official Mistress Carrie page as well. But join the veterans group. You don't have to be a veteran. You just have to be someone that loves veterans. You could have a veteran in the family. You could still be active duty in your service. But this Veterans Rock group is just about veterans issues, just about veterans organizations, just about veterans events. You can go there and ask questions of our veterans. You can go there to network with veterans about veteran-owned businesses. If you're on the job hunt and you're a veteran, go there and ask if there are companies that are looking to hire veterans. This group is specifically catered to the veteran community and the greater community at large that wants to help and support veterans, and that's why it's there. Bish says, hey, Carrie, did you see that Rock 92.9 in Boston is turning into a business radio station? I did. And they made the announcement on National Radio Day, which is so sad. Anytime we lose a music station to any station, whether it be political, business talk, sports, just losing a rock station in general just really makes me sad. And obviously you guys know that everything that we've built together is because we lost a legendary rock station. And trying to keep this community together, trying to give bands a place to be able to build a following in the Northeast. And as the podcast has grown around the country and around the world, to give rock bands a place to go and for rock fans to be able to congregate with each other, to find out about new bands, to stay in touch with the bands they love, to find out about concerts and all of the other things that we talk about. But anytime you lose a rock station, even a rock station you competed against, you know, the guys that ran Radio 92.9 reached out right after the announcement about WAAF going under happened. And they were like, look, we wish we could hire you. You know, we're so sad that you are without a job, and we're really just wonderful and gracious. And it's just really sad when you lose another rock station. So, yeah, it's really sad news for the rock community at large, the rock community in Boston. It just sucks. Let's see. I don't know. You guys are talking about something that I missed, I think. Talking about boobs or whatever. William Dyson said AAF will never fade. It always pops up. Joe Rogan and Adam Sandler were talking about AAF last week on the Rogan podcast. AAF is just in the fabric of rock and roll. And until we're all dead, and probably after that, stories will still be told about that amazing radio station. But, you know, unfortunately, like the staff of Radio 92.9 is finding out now, like you have to find a way to move on and to be able to still do what you love. And that is exactly what we've built here. It's exactly what we built with the podcast, with all of the events that we're doing, you know, taking the War Room on the road, which I'm still trying to do a live War Room event this fall. And I'm working on that. It sucks when you lose the kind of hub of your community. And that's what rock radio is for rock fans. It's a gathering place. It's a place for you to find like-minded people to talk about the music you love and all of the other things that you love. And it's sad. So my heart goes out to everybody at Radio 92.9 in Boston, because unfortunately I know what you're going through and it sucks. There's nothing that makes it better. There's nothing that makes it not hurt. So, all right, guys, episode 220 of the podcast featuring Scott Anderson from Finger 11 goes live at midnight tonight. Don't forget the birthday bash. Tickets are on sale. You can get all of the details in the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. And the Cage the Elephant tickets. So one more time, ticket giveaway. If you want Cage the Elephant tickets Thursday night at the Xfinity Center, go to mistresscarrie.com, click the message the studio button, put Cage in the subject line. Make sure that I have your full name and your email address, and I am going to send these tickets out first come, first serve as soon as the show is over tonight. Free tickets to Cage the Elephant for the War Room family. And yes, there will be more tickets coming very soon. All right, good night, everybody. Wednesday, you want to say good night?